And hello everyone, it's Roktan! Welcome to the Red Light District, and it's another edition of Metroid Prime 3. This time, completing my... I'm going to complete the G.F.S. Valhalla, which is a completely abandoned ship because it's the space pirates completely blew the, attacked it and stripped it and pretty much killed everyone on it, I would think. But I thought I'd stream this since there's probably going to be some monsters and some things places I haven't explored yet. So I thought it'd be worth showing this off. And this will be my next to last stream, because the next one will be the final area of the game. Not much in the way of news about myself. I would just have to say more that I basically have given up on the CPAP entirely. It's just I cannot get comfortable wearing that mask. Like, it's not just that I can't get comfortable, I can't... It's like, if I was uncomfortable, but I could at least fall asleep with it, that would be... I could live with that, but I can't... It's so uncomfortable, I can't fall asleep. That's the problem. And thanks for that. You didn't give me any time to scan that shit. I want to walk back and then see if they respawn. If they don't, I may have to leave the planet and come back, because I need those. Yeah, they didn't come back. Of course not. Fucking hell. Oh, one thing I have actually found out that... And, I mean, the other games had this, but you'd think by this game they'd have fixed this problem. And that is this. If there are like entries in the lore book, like mainly creatures, I would say. Yeah, creatures for sure. Where okay, the bosses having this issue makes sense. I'd be okay with, like, yeah, that much. But there are certain creatures that only seem to appear once or twice at most, and if you don't scan them, then you won't get a chance again. You can go back to the area. You can even go back to the area where they where they showed up, and they won't be there. So you literally miss out on scannable on lore scans, because the game decides, oh, you missed it too late. Fuck that. Seriously. Apart from bosses, and maybe mini-bosses, that should never happen. You should always be able to go back and scan a creature you missed, other than bosses. That's stupid. Yeah, like bosses, of course you're going to only face... Generally speaking, you're probably only ever going to face them once. So it makes sense if you didn't scan them then that you'd miss that. I'd be okay with that. It was like, oh, I didn't scan that boss. But, like, why you wouldn't scan the boss is, like, it would be silly to begin with, because you especially if you're playing the game for the first time, or if you're going for a completion run, you would want to scan. Of course you would not want to forget to scan, especially if you're playing the game for the first time, because scanning anything like bosses especially, give you an indication of they clue you in how to beat it. So why you wouldn't scan it is, so of course you would probably scan it. If the game glitched and decided, now the only case where it would be is some kind of weird thing happened where it didn't save correctly, the game didn't save correctly, or some kind of glitch happened where it suddenly magically says, even though you beat the boss, you didn't scan it, even though I was like, but I scan everything. I scan the bosses. Why would I not scan that? That would be the only case I could see for you missing that. Other than maybe you just decided, I don't want to scan it for some reason. Okay, but like I said, like that would be the case where if you didn't scan it, then you missed out, and I would be fine with that. It's all everything else. It's any other enemy should always be able to be scanned. You should always be able to go back and scan it again. I don't even care if it's an enemy that you only see rarely. You should still be able to go back and scan it again. I shouldn't have to play the game twice just to scan just to scan something that isn't a boss. And there's no guarantee I'll remember what I missed and where it was, especially where it was. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Phazon Shriekbat. Aggressive ceiling dweller that dive bombs approaching organisms. Even more aggressive than the normal species, Phazon Shriekbats will not hesitate to attack any creature that wanders too close. Their dive bomb attack erupts in a burst of Phazon energy, which usually proves fatal to weaker organisms. These Shriekbats are mainly found in areas with high amounts of Phazon. Instead of the usual insects and small creatures Shriekbats usually feed on, these have come to rely on Phazon as a food source. So I guess the pirates, when they came here, used a lot of Phazon, and it attracted these guys here. Whoops. After all, I want to also mention that, seriously, I may actually post this in Facebook. I'm thinking about it. That, those things. Miniroid. Combat rating negligible. Infant has not developed powers. Miniroids. Tiny and weak, will travel in a flock for protection. They float and fly about in search of sustenance. Those that survive will grow quickly, becoming the feared parasites known throughout the cosmos as Phazon Metroids. Or Metroids in general. But anyway, I was going to say that, seriously, for years, the holidays have been the worst thing. It's like, I think it's official that I've figured out that every year around the holidays, I get hit with depression. Because it's just like a reminder of, like, there's only one place I could really, I can go on a consistent basis to spend the holidays with, and it's the last place I'd ever want to go, because that means spending it with my dad, who is an asshole. I mean, really. Like, he gets angry easily, he will say horrible, hurtful, nasty things, or have really mean, sarcastic things to say, even if it's not out of it, even if it's not complete, even if he says it calmly. So it's basically a completely... It's a potentially toxic atmosphere. So, because you don't know what mood he's going to be in at any given time. Now, he can have a really great sense of humor, and it does show from time to time. He has a kind of sense of humor where he'll say something just to get... He'll say something like... I don't know, he'll say something ridiculous. The kind of thing that just makes you roll your eyes and like, oh, come on, Dad. And you kind of smile and roll your eyes because he's being a... It's kind of that, like, he's being a little sarcastic to be kind of a jerk, but he's not, like, he's saying it just to he's saying it obviously. You could clearly tell he doesn't mean anything by it. He's not being mean. He's just saying it to be funny. But the problem is, it's hard to know when he's gonna, it can be hard to know, like, what's gonna set, you're just waiting for something to set him off. And he's gonna be mad, and he's gonna be a jerk, and he's gonna say something horrible. And then my whole holiday, and then the entire holidays and then the holidays from that point on are completely ruined. It's basically, it becomes a completely toxic atmosphere. I end up fucking miserable. And apart from the gifts, there's no happiness. There's nothing pleasant about it. And honestly, as nice as the gifts might be, they don't feel like they mean anything. They feel like he's doing it just because I recently thought about it. I thought it was like it's not just that he's doing it out of obligation. It's like he feels that money can solve anything. Money was like, oh, I said something mean and nasty to you, or I was a complete jerk. Oh, it doesn't matter because I was nice enough to give you this. And it's like, that doesn't work, okay? You know? So, man, I would rather spend it just about anywhere else, you know? I would love to spend the holidays with, like, my extended family, especially on my mom's side. My dad's side isn't the greatest either. Like, my Aunt Susan, it seems like she's kind of become bitter in her old age. She's not the most... She's better than my dad, but she's not the greatest. She's not the most pleasant to be around either. Because she's kind of very... She seems to talk very negative, which is why I think her and Dad get along so famously. I used to really get along with her really well, and which is really nice, but I swear something happened to her. Okay, yeah, there's nothing here, so I went the wrong way. But man, I would love if just once, if not every year, might be asking too much, but just 1 year, I could spend the holidays in the company of people that feel like of people that are pleasant to be around, where I feel warmth and love, and it's not nastiness, it's not bitterness, it's not anger, it's not awkward. Because that's the other problem. Is like even if he doesn't get mad, or it's just awkward because it literally feels like, and I've heard this saying is like one of the scariest things is like there's a bomb in a room, and the scariest thing is that the bomb never goes off, but you're waiting for it to. And that's what it feels like when it's with my dad, because even if the bomb never goes off, I'm waiting for it to happen. Probably go this way first, maybe. Come on, open. There we go. Okay. Let's put these energy cells in. I just want one time to spend it in the company of people I know love me and care about me, under the company where I feel warm and loved, and I'd probably have so much better of a time. I wouldn't be depressed, I wouldn't be miserable, I wouldn't feel awkward. Just one time, just 1 year. God, I'd love that. It would do wonders for my emotional state at the holidays. If it could happen every year, oh my god, I would be so much happier. Okay, enough bitching. Another logbook entry, Talon 4 incident. Planet Talon 4, formerly a chosen locality, was struck by a stellar object 50 years ago. Object was later determined to contain large quantities of phazon. The children were able to stave off the spread of phazon at the cost of many chosen lives. The survivors abandoned the planet, fleeing to an unknown location. Decades later, Hunter Samus Aran responded to a distress call in the sector and discovered a space pirate phazon mining station there. Aran eliminated both the pirate and phazon threat from the planet, though not without cost. Okay. Let's go in here and see what we got. Launch control. And in here we have... oh, missile expansion. So there wasn't much here. So, let's go back to where we originally were. This will probably... I'm assuming this is going to be probably a fairly short stream, because there's not much left. of this area. It might be really short, possibly. If it ends up becoming that, I might actually end up going to the last area and just changing the name of the stream here. I'm calling it something else. Or, I mean the recording, because, yeah, I still can't stream from the Elgato. I gave up trying after a couple of tries. I don't know why, but it didn't want to work. Come on, give me some energy. I got drained. Alright. Going up. Oh, hello. Almost didn't spot that. And there was that sound, there is that sound, so there's obviously power up here. Or expansion. Okay, I did something wrong. That just led me back. Oh, there we go. Another missile expansion. All right. Subject appears to have held an energy grenade for too long, crushed by falling debris. Debris caused by explosion, a small opening near the bottom is too tiny to fit through normally. And so that we'll have to roll through. Ah, I'm getting sucked. I hate how long it takes to kill them. Locking mechanism is activated, yeah. Simultaneous, so that's the Seeker. Ah! Push. do we got here? System analysis complete. Power content is not energized. Flow capacity at 0. Security shutter is locked. Target appears damaged, but is still sturdy enough to function. Energy generator offline. Multiple power sources are needed to restore normal operations. Security shutter's structural integrity is critical. Explosive blast could probably destroy it. Energy generator online. Power sources locked in place. Output at 100%. That's, and I've already scanned that enemy. Hate those things. Olympus-class battleship. Olympus-class battleship is the first Federation capital ship designed to use an onboard Aurora unit. They are flagships of the fleet they serve and usually commanded by an officer of flag rank. Battleships of this class have smaller crews than most ships of a similar size in the presence of the Aurora unit. The space saved in crew support is used for more battle systems. The enormous vessels are powered by fuel gel, making a scarce commodity of extreme value to the Federation military. Obviously something underneath here, because I'm hearing that sound, a familiar sound. So that can be torn off. Let's do that. So can this. Now ran off. Question is, how do I get over there? Where's the hole? There's obviously like a hole that I can drop into. Or maybe it's not in this room. It feels like it should be though, doesn't it? Well, this is a problem. I can't get back out. So I have to find the hole. There should be one. But I can't find one. There should be a morph ball hole somewhere, or a place I can drop into with the morph ball, but I'm not finding it anywhere. Oh wait, that's right, it was here. Duh, I'm dumb. Stop running away from me. How do I get out? I got in, now how the hell do I get out? There we go. I'm hoping this stream was at least an hour, because then I can actually do this and have this be an episode, count as an episode of this particular playthrough. If it doesn't last that long, then I'll probably have to go longer. Okay. Now that I did that, let's go back up. So we have to go back in that one door I didn't access. Trooper was impaled on an energy scythe before being thrown into canisters. Energy burns on Trooper's armor indicate that he was flung by an explosion into the window. Security door has been blown out from its position. Phase-on-base explosives are likely to cause. Subject appears to be an attack from behind. All life energy was siphoned. Which means it was probably attacked by Phase-on Metroid. Door is a low level energy shield. Okay. Energy tank. We'll take that. Puncture wounds detected on target's back suggests the attacker came through the wall. Okay, so there's only one place left to go, and that's the door I haven't opened. Glass door's locked. Whole breach has been contained. Security override disabled. Phazon has begun the process of absorbing this dead trooper's body. I didn't know that could happen. Huh, that's interesting. Whoa, what is this? Debris is covered with high amounts of Phazon. Records suggest that a weapon was detonated here. Nothing else of interest in this room, so let's move on. The resistance is actually really annoying. Acquired that one. Used. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Security has been able to open control mechanism within walls, probably malfunction. Whoops. The ship's AU was connected in this platform. Debris suggested that it was forcefully removed. Walkway ramps locked. Return power to local stations to move walkways into place. List system is offline. Return portal to local station resume normal operations. Okay. So I obviously have to fix this, but I don't know how. How do I fix it then? Did I miss something? I can't have missed something. I feel like I've been in every potential room in this area. So where could I have missed something? Security cache control method was malfunctioning. A strong blast could probably loosen any jammed parts. Oh, okay. There we go, that fixes that problem. Oh, come on! I have all of them! How could I be missing any? You kidding me? Docking control mechanism. Well, okay, I missed an energy cell all the way back at the fucking start of this place. Fucking hell. I don't know how that's possible, but I did. I'm gonna just run through here as fast as I can. I can't believe I have to go back. How could I have missed something at the very start? I don't know. I still don't know how that happened. It's crazy. Go, go, go. Move. I want to get out of I want to go back. I want to take hours. Come on. Open the door. Open. Thank you. Ah, you motherfucker. Oh, fuck you. Okay, come on. Open the door. Thank you. Something over here that I missed. Wow! It was right in there, and how did I not notice that? I think it's because it looks like something that's part of the background, or like something you can't. The energy cell's right there. Wow, I can't believe I just glossed over it. Thought it was something else, or like thought it was the scenery. Didn't realize, oh, that's an energy cell. Jeez. That's really sad. Alright, let's go back through once again. travel all the way out up there. Fucking hang on. Sorry about that. All right. First I have to kill so many enemies just to travel through here. Let's go! It's taking too long. I knew I had this nagging feeling when I got to that point that I was missing an energy cell, but I thought that once I reached that area, I would find it. But I didn't, and I had to go all the way back to claim the one I missed because my eyes just completely glossed over it, and I'm going the wrong way. Up the elevator and through here. Come on. Oh, yeah, I think I have to go through this way. Open, open, open. Go. Why can't I hit this fucking thing? Finally. Goddamn itchy hand. Alright. That should activate the lift, which it does, and activates that platform too. Very nice. I sense an enemy coming. Ah, another one of these guys. Watch this, though. This is gonna be fun. Oops. Messed up. Yeah. No, not that one. Not that one. One shot kill! Ha ha ha! Fuck you. Yeah, it's the best thing. Once you get the Nova Beam and the X-Ray Visor, they go down in one shot. Freaking hilarious. The shattered structure is all that remains of the tank that housed the ship's roaring unit. Like, I found that I couldn't, scan the Aurora unit from Elysia, and that was a scannable thing, all because it suddenly decides, oh, I'm processing data, and I won't, so you can't scan me anymore. It's like, that's fucking stupid. Locker room in place. Alright, let's go through this door. Oh, that was kind of interesting. The Metroid was dragging a body. Fucking hell. How did you get... It looked like he bounced off, but somehow he got hold of me anyway. Fucker. Alright, let's look around a bit. Nothing of interest. Come on. Open the door. Thank you. What do we got here? Target is part of an energy generation system that fed power into the ship's roaring unit. Ooh. A lot of bodies. Target's body suffered a large number of energy burns from phase-on-based weapons. Pirate Corps is riddled with wounds from a Federation Marines assault rifle. Bioform died from the internal bleeding from assault rifle wounds. Melee weapon is missing. Trooper was violently thrown against the wall. Subject's neck is broken. Something way over there. And a lore entry. On her incident. Planet Ether, home of the Luminov, was struck by a Phazon meteor 5 decades ago. The impact had catastrophic effects on the already unstable planet, creating a dark twin of the planet and a dire race known as the Ing. A brutal war between the twin planets took place, with the Ing gaining the upper hand. The G.F.S. tier went to the sector to investigate pirate activity, but were forced to make an emergency landing on Ether. Shortly after, the entire crew of Tier was attacked and annihilated by the Ing. Hunter Samus Aran was sent to investigate, and wound up entangled in the local conflict. Aran fought against both space pirates and an Ing, and arose victorious. Ether's dark twin vanished, taking with it the Ing horde, and the planet's peace was finally restored. After the Ether incident, the Federation sent the G.F.S. On-Horde back to Ether to deal with the pirate base. Upon arrival, the crew and marines of the On-Horde assisted the native Luminov in dismantling an abandoned space pirate mining facility. During the operation, the crew detected the presence of Phazon. The ship's crew investigated and collected several kilograms of ore, which would later lead to the development of the PED. So, let's scan that. Data backup terminal. There's another body. Trooper appears to have been cornered before being impaled with a pirate melee weapon. can't make those bodies turn to ash. I could the other ones for some reason. Let's go ahead and access this. Oh, there's a code. I'll have to figure out what the code is. I think I have to go over here first then. Back as a plan, restore editing to device. Ooh, one of these. Okay. And pirate code acquired.
The data you just acquired appears to be a Space Pirate Leviathan command code. It is likely that this code could allow us to control the Leviathan in orbit above the Pirate Homeworld. Find a way onto the Leviathan and use that code.
Oh, so I had a feeling I would need to come over here first because, yeah, we just found out that there was a code I needed to get to even access this. Access the oh, there we go. 78356. Oh, there we go. To even access the Leviathan. 7, 8, 3, 5, and 6.
Data log entry 2467. This will be the last communication of the G.F.S. Valhalla. Our efforts to repel the space pirate holding force have failed. They have successfully removed the primary mounting structure around our stasis tank. It is obvious now that they intend to extract us from the Valhalla. It is vital that the Federation receive this transmission, severing main power. A large bioform is creating a wormhole, implant into sentient planet, which is the source of all phases. Darkness coming.
That was creepy. Okay. We have officially cleared this place out now. So let's go back to the ship and get the hell out of here. And that should end the stream because I'm close to the armor mark. And then all I'll have left is the final area. Now, one of the things I was actually considering not streaming this section of the game, mainly because I couldn't find a good picture of this area. And lately I've discovered, I may have talked about this, but I went through and edited all my videos in my section of YouTube and on Twitch too, all the Twitch videos, and I changed all the pictures for all the videos I had done, all the playthroughs and highlight videos and everything, just because I wanted it to have the best picture that represented the biggest thing that happened of that stream, if possible. Now, I wasn't always able to do that, like with the Sleeping Dogs one, but I really started to do that when it came to the latest of the Metroid videos, the Metroid 2 playthroughs, especially the later parts of it. I really wanted it, like, and I also did it for Darksiders too. I tried to found some good pictures that really, you know, I wanted to find pictures that went with the titles of the stream if I could. If not, and oh well. But you know, some of the, like, for the sleeping dogs, I just went with a bunch of like animal jokes. Based on the fact that the title was called Sleeping Dogs, so that some of the titles work, later titles work because of what parts of the game I was showing. But a lot of the opening titles for the streams I made of that were just random animal jokes or dog jokes or cat. I was like, oh, sleeping dogs. What's the complete opposite of that in not just in terms of dogs, but it was like hyper cats. What's one of this? Yeah. Yeah, because initially there was a point where I was just struggling. What the fuck do I name these streams? And I think it was my friend Max who gave me some ideas. And then I started to think of like, oh, some other ways I could title it as, like, based on the fact that this, you know, more titles that dealt with the fact that this was the gameplay is heavily based on you fighting martial arts kung fu battles, and also based on the fact that I think I read somewhere that the melee combat was heavily, and the whole kind of game was inspired by like John Woo martial arts action flicks. Yeah, I know. No, shut up. Sometimes I even change the titles if I didn't feel like the titles matched. If I didn't feel the titles really went well over, and I gave titles to old and I even restructured the old videos, even if they weren't done on Twitch or weren't, even if back then I didn't call it the Red Light District. I liked that name better. My original title for my original stream name was back when I started on Hitbox, which by the way doesn't exist anymore. It's now a different streaming site. I forget what it's called. I called it Roktan. I called it the Playhouse. It was just like the easiest, quickest thing I could think of at the time. But then it was like, oh yeah, because of my name and that joke I have of, you know, and it was back. I may have said this before, but I probably said this in my introduction video. But the reason I go Roktan is the name Roktan I basically stole. I will admit this. I stole or borrowed it from a Neverwinter Nights strategy guide, specifically the one for the expansion, and I believe it was the Hordes of Underdark expansion, because it basically gave you character examples on how to build and how to build your character, and it was really useful because I had no idea how to build my character at the time. I had no idea how to like create a character and give it stats. I had no idea what it was doing. I had never really played D&D before, and that game was entirely built on. It was literally a recreation of D&D 3rd edition, straight up in game form. It had all the rules of 3rd edition. So, anyway, and it even had names for each of these different examples of how to build a character. And the one they had, and they had a half-orc barbarian that was named Roktan, and I just stole that, and I used it. And when I did my first ever sit down with an actual group and using pen and paper and actual dice, playing D&D role playing. And the first character I actually built was like the first character I played really wasn't a good choice to start with in terms of my first actual sit down role playing session, because actually the first character I created in Neverwinter Nights was a druid, because I just really liked the idea of, and also because it had this cool prestige class you could spec into as a secondary called Shifter, which sounded really cool because you could turn into other creatures. What I found out though was those creatures were nowhere near as powerful as you were. So all the creatures you could turn into were weaker than you were at whatever level you were at the time. So the Shifter felt completely fucking pointless. But I still like for whatever reason, I still like the idea of playing a druid, and I decided to play a druid first, and that ended up being a mistake because I had no idea what I was doing, and it was too complex of a class type to start with as my first character for a role playing session. So I went with instead the other character I created, which was the half-orc barbarian named Roktan, and then my friends who were started doing that joke where Roktan sounds a lot like Roxanne, which is a song by the Police, or aka, as I like to say, that band with Sting. and they would start singing, Roktan, you don't have to put on the red light. So that's where that comes from. I may have explained that before, but in case you haven't heard it, or in case I haven't, that's where that comes from. Alright. Okay. So, yeah, I am well over the hour mark. I think this is a good place to stop. Stay tuned. Till next time will be the finale episode of this playthrough, where I go to phase, which is a planet made entirely out of phase on. So, tune in next time. This has been Roktan. You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Signing off. Slick out.